And then on the phone, it's just like worse.
Come on. All right, looks like we are, oh no, we have more here than, all right, we get Maria, Melissa, Johanny, Linda, another Johanny. There's not two Johannies on here, is there? Oh my God. Phew. Man.
You don't want to.
Marcia, Melissa. Do we have Donna? We have Donna. Okay, so do we have Strat, Linda?
I don't know. I'm trying to get the Facebook feed up. I did have
Strat's got
him.
2 minutes.
Okay, just let me pop back over there.
Good evening, Lee.
Good evening, Jeff. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How you doing today?
Very good. Very good.
Good. All right.
Strat is on.
Strat is on. Is Donna on?
No, not yet.
That's who I'm looking for. We told Donna 7:37.
Can you hear me, Jeff?
Loud and clear, Strat. Phew.
Thank
Too
you.
loud and clear.
You're actually intimidating us.
The devil.
You got Melissa.
Donna.
Donna's on. All right. So I believe we have everybody. We're going to get started right away because we are obviously way behind this evening. So before I get started, do we have with us Thomas Adele? Okay. Thomas is on with us. Thomas.
Yeah, I do not see him.
All right. I'll give us, if he doesn't appear, I'll just do a brief invocation, okay?
Yeah, I think.
Well, actually, yeah, we're going to have a brief moment of silence as well for Frank's father.
Thank you, Jeff. I was hoping somebody would do that. Yes, thank
Robert
you.
Yes.
Bukowski Sr. So
Thank
we'll just say a quick prayer and then we'll have a moment of silence for him, okay? If Mr. Adil doesn't join us. All right, so let's get started. Welcome everyone to the regular business meeting of Reading City Council here on Monday, March 22nd. We're going to have an invocation followed by a moment of silence, and I'll announce that after just a brief prayer. Thomas Adil, are you with us at the moment? If
He is not.
All right, if everyone doesn't mind just bowing their heads, I'll just say a brief prayer. Thank you, dear Lord, for this day that we're in and its genuine simplicity so that we can slow down and enjoy your grace and use that as our guidance, not only in our choices, but in our peace, where really the real choices can be made clearly. So thank you and amen. We're going to have we're going to have a moment of silence for everyone who isn't aware that Mr. Frank Dembowski was a longtime city employee in many capacities. His father passed away, I believe, last week, Robert Dembowski Sr. So
Yes.
on behalf of the family and to send our sympathies, we're going to just have a moment of silence for the family. If we could have that now, please. Okay, thank you, everyone. If you don't mind standing, if you can, please, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. And I'll wait for a few seconds till we get started. Okay, I pledge allegiance
To the
To the
flag
flag
to the flag of the United States of
of
America and to the
to the
republic
republic for which it
which is
stands,
Stands
one nation,
one nation
under
under
God,
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty.
with liberty and justice for all.
All right, well, thank you, everyone. Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Cepeda Freitas,
Here.
Ms. Goodman Hendershitz,
Here,
Mr. Marmaru,
here.
Ms. Reed,
Here,
Ms. Sahelnick,
here,
Ms. Ventura,
Here.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Here.
7 present, none absent.
There were no executive sessions at the March 15th Committee of the Whole meeting. I just want to make that announcement. We do have a commendation this evening celebrating Women's History Month. I wasn't at the agenda review portion of this specific task. Who is going to present the commendation, or is it a group effort?
Melissa.
Melissa, okay. Melissa, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Melissa.
So on this day, March 22nd, 2021, the City of Reading celebrates Women's History Month. Whereas during Women's History Month, we celebrate the countless women whose courage and resolve have contributed to the character and success of our nation. We honor women who have fought for equality and against the status quo and who have broken the bonds of discrimination and injustice for the benefit of all. These women have created a legacy that continues to inspire generations of women to live with confidence, to have a positive impact on their communities, and to improve our nation. And whereas women were formerly excluded from full participation in society and democracy, because of the courage of so many bold women who dared to transcend preconceived expectations and prove they were capable of doing all that a man could do and more, advances were made, discoveries revealed, barriers broken, and progress triumphed, having a profound and positive impact. Through hardship and strife in every realm of life, women have spurred change around the world to overcome adversity and lead the way for a fairer, more inclusive, and progressive society. And whereas through great progress has been made to achieve gender equality, work remains to be done. Women still earn less for every dollar made by men and remain underrepresented in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. There is still far to go to shatter the glass ceiling that holds women back, and the fight continues for equal opportunity for our daughters. And whereas the accomplishments of women in every aspect of society must be celebrated. Now, therefore, the Council of the City of Reading commends as follows. On this occasion, Council honors the sacrifices of the many women who struggled to make this country and this community a better place. Council calls upon the citizens of Reading to reflect on the struggles waged by women of the past so that they might enjoy the present. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much, Melissa. We're going to move on. Linda, do we have anyone scheduled for public comment this evening?
We have one gentleman, Dominic Ranieri.
A live speaker?
Yes, but I do not see him connected. I think we may have lost him due to our lateness.
All right, if he reemerges at any time, we will certainly give him the time because of our tardiness to speak. So
Okay,
we'll move on to the approval of our agenda and minutes. There's a couple changes to the agenda that I'm just going to point out, and then we'll go through all the elements regarding that are on the consent agenda. The first change is on the agenda itself. Under resolutions, we are going to remove Resolution 33-2021. That was tabled in the last meeting where we actually meant to remove it. So that will complete that process. And then under the consent agenda, we have an award of contract. The final award of contract F regarding the Doug Lamb construction for 18th Ward Island project. We're going to move that under resolution. So with the approval of our agenda and minutes this evening, we'll make those changes. We'll also approve the minutes from our March 8th regular meeting and the summations of discussion from the March 8th and March 15th committee of the whole meetings, as well as the nominations and appointment committee meetings. The approval of the agenda and minutes will also include the approval of our consent agenda legislation. I'm going to walk through those items. The first item is an award of contract for the repairs, parts, and supplies for the city's citywide passenger, light duty, medium duty, and heavy duty fleet vehicles to Diesel Service Reading and Penske and Shillington for the repairs and or specialty services to include but not limited to alignments, engines, transmission, exhaust, electrical, snow equipment, leaf equipment, glass repairs and or replacement, radiators, fire apparatus, bodywork, drive shaft, hydraulic repairs, OEM above warranty, spring work, decals, car wash, and detailing. Pretty much everything, right? So the next item is an award of contract for the repairs and or specialty services for the city's citywide passenger, light duty, medium duty, and heavy duty fleet vehicles to DW Classics, LLC in Lebanon, PA, EM Coots in Reading, and Diesel Service in Reading. These vendors will be used for the repairs and or specialty services to include, but not limited to, alignments, engines, transmission, exhaust, electrical, snow equipment, leaf equipment, glass repairs and or replacement, radiators, fire apparatus, bodywork, drive shaft, hydraulic repairs, OEM above warranty, spring work, decals, car wash, and detailing. We should have just read them together, I guess, but the next item under the consent agenda is a resolution authorizing the submission of a DCNR grant in the amount of $300,000 for the rehab of the Reading Iron Playground. The next item under the consent agenda is an award of contract to Desmond Design Management, Inc. in Pittsburgh at the cost of $123,499 for a comprehensive parking plan to be developed in conjunction with the Downtown Plus strategic plan to attract and retain businesses, workforce, residents, and visitors to the city. The city will use this plan to better manage public parking resources and to anticipate future parking needs as the city's revitalization unfolds. The final item under the award of contract is under the consent agenda is an award of contract to Promax Fencing in Reading to upgrading the perimeter fencing around 11th and Pike at the cost of $50,725. This was previously approved at the March 8th meeting at the cost of $40,725. We had a typo, so this is being corrected this evening. So council, those are the items under the consent agenda, as well as the minutes and the agenda for this evening. Is there any objection to the approval of those items at this time? If not, they stand as approved. We will now move on to our administrative report. We'll welcome the Honorable Abe Amoros this evening. The mayor is not present, but Abe is here to give the administrative report.
Thank you, Council President. Greatly appreciate everyone's time this evening. I'll make the report as brief as I can. The mayor participated in One Love Project Spring Awakening Clothing Drive on Sunday, March the 14th, where he recognized the project organization with a certificate of recognition for all the great work that they do to improve the quality of life for our LGBTQIA+ community, contributing to the mayor's vision of building a better Reading together. The Chief of Staff, Frank Dombowski, also attended Albright College's Center for Local Excellence in Government's quarterly virtual meeting, which discussed the COVID-19 vaccine rollout within the county, Other agenda items discussed were the GRCA and Berks County Industrial Development Authority collaboration on the renewal of the Berks County Enterprise Zone and updates on future educational sessions. On St. Patrick's Day, the mayor hosted a City of Reading Business Roundtable virtual meeting. Participants included a diverse group of local business leaders, such as a GRCA President and CEO Jim Gerlach. Council President Waltman was also there, City Managing Director, myself, and other administrative staff. The topics that we discussed at the meeting included the Downtown Business District Public Safety, an update on the city's Downtown Plus strategic plan, the current and future response to COVID-19, and the Mayor's Clean City Initiative and Vision. And speaking of the Downtown Improvement District, we held a meeting today with stakeholders to announce that Sydney Kastner is now going to be the coordinator for the Downtown Improvement District. And I wanted to thank Councilors Reed and Cepeda Freitas for being present at that meeting also. And we're going to have more information as to what the job description is going to be, what the budget is going to be as well. So we're going to continue with those meetings. Next meeting will be in 1 month. Under community development, the department submitted its consolidated annual performance and evaluation report called CAPER. The report summarizes the Emergency Solutions Grant, home improvement, and integrated distribution and information system activities conducted last year. The department also met with Harvest Inc. executives to discuss a planned expansion of the production facility within the city of Reading. This expansion is going to contribute to job growth as it's going to bring approximately 30 to 50 new jobs. And the Property Maintenance Division of Community Development started its health inspections of restaurants, food service businesses that operate during evening hours. All food serving locations are in compliance, with only a few having minor infractions, which is always good news. Social distancing was also observed at all the restaurants that we visited. The iRequest application, we've made some great strides thanks to the work of the finance department, and Apple is looking at fixing its issue. And until then, we're going to keep testing it over and over again, but we feel very confident that we're going to have an announcement very soon that the app was fixed for Apple users. In the meantime, residents may access the system via www.publicstuff.com/submit. The Citizen Service Center is conducting cross-training of some employees to support the call center during peak times, and the Finance Department continues to prepare and submit grants prioritizing the administration's overall goals. Upcoming submissions include a grant focusing on the rehabilitation of Reading Iron Playground and various grant project extension requests. And I also want to mention to council members, you've seen in the paper that the American Rescue Plan funds will be coming in our direction. We're going to continue with internal meetings. In fact, we have one scheduled for tomorrow, as a matter of fact, and then we are going to have a separate meeting with council members to discuss the mayor's priorities and visions for the American Rescue Plan funding. Under the fire department's report, the 2021 probationary class has begun doing clinical work on Friday as part of their emergency management technician training. The hands-on training divides the probationary class between 2 area hospital emergency rooms and the RFD ambulances. And the work also continues on design development phase for the 9th and Marion Street fire station. The 50% mark for the design phase is expected to be reached by the first week of April. We also want to thank our acting solicitor, Fred Latchett, and Joe Gurney from First Capital Engineering for their excellent presentation that was done at the March 10th zoning hearing board. Under human relations, the rental assistance program work continues, and we've identified additional resources that is going to allow the department to continue its mission to provide checks and assistance to those in need who are looking at evictions. Under the library, we have some exciting news that tomorrow at 3 o'clock, there was going to be a bench dedication for former employee Lisa McCoy, who sadly passed away. And that's going to be at the Southwest Library branch. I want to thank Bronwyn Gamble for setting that up through the mayor's office, and the fine work there. The Reading Public Library hosted its second For the Culture book discussion group featuring authors of color. 11 virtual participants partook in the second event. And the public library is also submitting grant applications to following organizations: the American Heart Association, Smithsonian Institute, Penn State University, Berks County Community Foundation, and the Why I'm Missing Foundation. And Bronwyn Gamble and the Public Library's Director of Information Technology are participating in a countywide consortium made up of leaders in the business, education, and philanthropic communities Together, the group is seeking solutions to the digital divide. And I also want to point out to council members, there's a beautiful handwritten note from a wonderful family, a bicultural, biracial family, at the end of this report that you might want to take a look at, thanking us for having a wonderful children's library section and the quality of books that they have for their bicultural children to learn from. So it was a really nice touching note. I hope everybody has a chance. The Reading Police Department conducted Operation Ceasefire. I want to commend Chief Tornelli for that excellent work and the wonderful press conference he put together on Friday afternoon. Many of you were present to listen to the good news where we actually took 13 or 14 firearms off the street and 13 arrests. And the chief continues to assist in planning efforts for a city gun buyback program. We have another meeting scheduled for tomorrow morning at 9:30. As a matter of fact, the gun buyback program is scheduled for Saturday, April the 17th. We're going to discuss times, locations tomorrow, and we will have a full report for council members next week. Under Public Works, the department is completing its final prep work on 2 new street division dump trucks, a new shop truck, and a new police K9 unit. The vehicles will have decals added, numbered, and then added to the city's operating fleet. And Public Works has also added waste collection information to the welcome packets, Community Development's Property Maintenance Division, which provides new homeowners support and the administration's Clean City Initiative. It's also compiled a list of ash trees to be treated and has begun protective treatment of those listed. And lastly, Public Works reports that the Schlegel Park pool reconstruction project, it continues to be on track for completion in May of this year, despite a temporary delay due to snow. So that concludes my report, and I'm more than happy to answer any and all questions.
All right, council members, any comments or questions at this time for the managing director? Marcia?
Okay. First of all, thank you for such a comprehensive report, which really touched on every part of city services. It's very refreshing to know that the public is aware of everything going on with the city. And I wanted to especially thank both the Codes Department, the Reading Police Department for their quick response to the citizen petition that was filed 2 weeks ago. I just wanted to let my fellow councilors know, you may have read it in an email. The building in question was placarded. The community is aware of that. So if anyone is attempting to gain entry, it will be reported to the police. And I think it has done substantially to raise the morale in the community, to know that the city can be depended on to act so quickly with a problem situation, but also to thank the community members, because if they hadn't done what they did so persistently, I don't think we would have been able to do our job as well. So thanks for the great teamwork.
Thank you.
All right, any additional comments or questions at this time? Okay, if not, Abe, thank you, sir, for the report. We're going to move on to the report from our city auditor. We're going to welcome Maria Rodriguez. Good evening, Maria.
President. I just reported on the real estate transfer tax. It's an update as of February 28, 2021. For the fiscal year 2021, the city budgeted 4.7 million for real estate transfer tax revenue. And for the first 2 months of 2021, the city has collected $1,059,149.93. And for the fiscal year 2020, this line item ended with a surplus of 2.3 million. For the first 2 months of 2020, a total of 325 transactions for real estate transfer tax were completed in the city, and out of this total, 284 transactions were taxable and 41 were not taxable transactions. Also, during the first 2 months of 2021, 3 properties were sold in the city of Reading for over $500,000 threshold. These 3 transactions by itself brought it in $282,625 in real estate transfer tax revenue during this period. And I'm listing the property address and for how much those 3 properties were sold. For the current fiscal year, the city budgeted $126,824 for payment in lieu of taxes. And as of March 1st, 2021, the city had collected $109,287.50. This is my report for tonight. I'm open for any question that you might have. Thank you.
Okay, council members, any comments or questions at this time? All right, no, thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
We appreciate the report. We are going to move on, council, to the next item on our agenda. And I do believe that's report from departments, directors, boards, authorities, and commissions. We do have the Honorable Lee Olson this evening with us. He's the chairman of the Planning Commission to give us a high-level update on the Planning Commission. Lee, welcome, sir. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Jeff, very much. I don't know how honorable I am, but I'll do my best. Thank you. It's good to be in front of council and staff again. And in my capacity as chair of the City Planning Commission, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to bring you up to speed. I will briefly just cover the highlights of the management of the Planning Commission. I want to turn it over to both David Paris and Naomi Krim, who are staff members. We've had some changes in the Planning Commission back of house, so to speak, to our advantage. And I want both David and to Naomi to go over the highlights of the projects that we have seen come through the Planning Commission process, talk a little bit about projects that are coming down the pike. And then I'd like to finish with a little bit of what we anticipate our role to be in 2021. And I believe Jamal is going to wind it up with some comments from him. We've been very busy this year. We had a full complement of projects that were being reviewed for subdivision and land development. Some major projects that David and Naomi will get into. And we have some more in the queue waiting. I'm very pleased and very honored to be a part of the Planning Commission. We have a full board. We have all of the available slots full. We have a great variety of membership. We have 2 architects, and we talk to each other, so that's a good sign. We have a new member, a land planner, and we have 2 former, perennial civic servants, Wayne Beeler and Wilson Feasey. And of course, this year saw the retirement after 30 years on the Planning Commission of Armedi Raffaelli. And Armedi has served us well. Also from staff, we've had Tim Kroll from Public Works, who has been an absolute vital cog in decision-making and guiding us through the myriad of rules and regulations with Public Works. He really knows his stuff. And from a legal standpoint, Michelle Mayfield is back with us now. And in the interim, when we did not have a planning director, city saw to it to hire Hawk Valley Associates. Jerome has done a tremendous job in getting us what we need in terms of timely reviews. As you can well imagine, the projects that David and Naomi will touch on are pretty sizable in the downtown and are really the catalyst for additional interest by out of town and in-town developers. So we're really on the cusp of starting to see projects of size that are going to generate not only temporary jobs for renovations and construction, but new jobs in terms of permanency with respect to retail, commercial support services, and also put more projects back on the tax rolls, which never hurts. It was a real good move on the part of city, I believe, to take David Paris and put him in charge of both zoning and planning. And David has brought to the table a staff member, and I'm going to turn it over to David. Let him tell a little bit about the projects that we've seen come through this past year and introduce Naomi and a little bit of what she's all about. David?
All right, thank you very much, Lee. Got a little echo here. You guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, very good. Well, first of all, I would just like to express the appreciation that we have in the Planning and Zoning Office for the many hours of volunteer time that our Planning Commission members provide each month. The institutional memory that they bring, the expertise that they bring to the city is really something that we all benefit from. And just to emphasize that the focus that the Planning Commission brings to the city is to really to protect the city's interests and its resources for every new development project that comes along. We're really excited about the marked increase in development, economic development that we have seen in the city of Reading. And we, based on just some initial indicators, we've seen zoning permit applications up about 25% during the latter part of 2020, which is a big increase for a year where we were expecting things to slow down because of a pandemic. If that's any indicator of what's to come, our Planning Commission members are going to have to buckle up and invest in caffeine for some long nights of meetings after we've already experienced some pretty long nights to begin with. So we see this as a really positive sign and just very appreciative of all the time and effort that these members of our community are providing.
David, all I need to say is that when we start to meet again together in real time, I would like to have a double espresso machine put in the conference room.
We'll see what we can do. All right. I would like to introduce our staff planner, Naomi Krim. She has a master's in regional planning from Cornell University and a bachelor's degree from Bates College in environmental studies. She has some really interesting background that she might be able to share with you if you get a chance to talk to her. So we're really grateful to have Naomi along, and would like to express my appreciation for her and her efforts at putting together this report that all of you will have received in your packets. Rather than go through each project, I think we'll just highlight on one or two major projects that we've seen. You're all familiar with the Alvernia College Town project, and we're really excited to have this anchor to the downtown area coming in. And we've been with them along every step of the way through zoning and planning, and are excited to see them moving forward with that project. And not only that, but looking forward to all the different things that will bring to our downtown and to our city at large. The other major project that I just wanted to touch on briefly that you may have heard about is the Buttonwood Gateway West and Buttonwood Gateway project with Habitat for Humanity. There's two separate pieces to that project, and they're working in tandem to revitalize a neighborhood in the vicinity of Buttonwood Street and Schuylkill Avenue. So that's another project that we're really, we've been very glad to see happening all the way through from the beginning to this to these later stages during 2020. Again, I'll refer you to the report to look at some of the other projects that we have. And we're very grateful again for the support that we've received. The other thing that I would like to highlight is something that we've spent some time in the past couple of weeks on, which is these revisions to ordinances. You have to spend a lot of time reading through and listening to a lot of detailed discussion about these ordinances, but these changes really make a big difference, and we're very appreciative of that. So with that, I'll let, if Naomi's available, she's going to talk for just a moment about one or two of the upcoming projects that we have, and after that, we'll turn it back over to Lee.
Yeah, thanks. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. I've been having some internet connectivity issues, so I apologize for not having my video on. Yeah, thanks, Dave, for the introduction. Yeah, some of the upcoming projects that we have include the Marion Street Fire Station. So that's going to be a completely new fire station on the corner of Marion and North 9th. We also have Medical Arts Building, which is going to be a redevelopment with a mix of residential and commercial uses. And then I just also wanted to mention that we have the Buttonwood Gateway project, which is part of this larger redevelopment initiative, the Gateway West, which will be a residential development of 11 units. So yeah, the Planning Commission the past couple months has had really full agendas, and we hope that it will continue that way.
Thank you, Neil.
Okay, Naomi. Yeah, thank you very much. Jamal, are you on? Can you give us some insights to your overview of how we've been doing and what we've got going on in the future?
Jamal is not connected.
Oh, he's not. Okay. All right. Well, what I would like to do is just finish up with what we have planned for 2021 and beyond, besides the upcoming projects. And as David has indicated, that we will be seeing an uptick in not only zoning applications, but also new projects coming online as the investing public sees the success of what we do here. And I must applaud the city for creating the one-stop shop. It is an absolute godsend so that I can take a client to a one-stop shop meeting, which includes all of the building trades people, the fire marshals, zoning, historic preservation, and whatever the project is that my client is contemplating. It is vetted, it is looked at, it is given a very positive opinion about what to do, what not to do. It's been very helpful. I've had more people come away saying, gee, I thought the city was very tough to deal with, and we're not. We never have been, and it is the perception that we're slowly but surely tearing down. And we hope that this continues. We are going to have, for the first time in the month of April, a joint planning commission meeting between the city and the county planning commissions. This has been in the works for some time. The current chair is Tom McCune of the Planning Commission, and he and I have been with David and Jamal and David Hunter talked about this possibility. We share a lot of common challenges, although our theaters of operation are different. But at the end of the day, the city of Reading and the county of Berks are interlocked, and what we do for one is going to help the other. So we're looking at taking the two planning commissions and become more involved in a collaborative regional way. Because of many things are happening, the potential of increasing revenue, increasing population is going to affect transportation, infrastructure, and of course the financing packages that are out there available to us. So we're going to really start to work together. And the goal would be that within a year, maybe we're sharing meetings with each other in a ad hoc capacity, that we're helping each other out. Maybe there's a task force that might drop out that will be looking at housing or other issues that will come up. And it's all for the benefit of the quality of life improvement here in Reading and the county. Two things that we're looking forward to participating in with the city, of course, is the Downtown Plus master planning, and hearing tonight that you have released a contract for the parking study. Very important issues. There's never a project that goes by that we don't have a parking issue to deal with in terms of existing codes, existing requirements, and with population changes, with attitudes about public transportation, and just running out of space to park cars. This will be an interesting paradigm shift for us if we can really work something out. I'm very excited to be a part of this group. We get things done. We have great cooperation and synergy with the city. There has never been a time when I've made a phone call or I have reached out where I didn't get any response. Both Stan and Charlie out at Public Works, Jamal within community development. It's been a real pleasure, and I really am grateful to be given the opportunity to serve. So with that, I will, excuse me, ask if anyone on council has any questions for either myself or Naomi or David. We'll do the best we can to answer them.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Lee. Council members, any questions or comments at this time? All right, if not, we really appreciate the update. We know, I mean, so many details that get weathered through, if you will, in the Planning Commission that are very important. because you're pretty much finalizing what we'll see as we drive by new projects or adaptations to existing projects. The details are very important. So Lee, your team, everybody, and the staff, David, everyone else, thank you for the continued hard work, especially all the volunteers as well.
Jeff, you're quite welcome, and I speak on behalf of my my fellow commissioners. They thank you for your confidence in them. They serve because they want to, and they really are have the city's best interests at heart. And I'm very glad we have a good team. But thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Lee, and be safe, everyone.
Okay, okay, will do. Talk to you guys later.
All right. All right, council, we're going to move on here to ordinances for final passage. We have a number of ordinances this evening. The first 6 are rather similar, but we're going to handle them one by one. So I'm going to start with Bill number 15-2021, authorizing the write-off of a general fund receivable approved via Bill 86-2015 from the Community Development Fund, which will have the effect of increasing general fund transfer to community general fund and expenditure of $500,000 and increasing community development fund transfer from general fund a revenue of $500,000. This was introduced at the February 22nd regular meeting and tabled at the March 8th regular meeting. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
And if Jamar is still on, I'm going to ask him to just give us, a recap of all 6 of these ordinances just for the public. Is Jamar on here?
Hang on a minute.
There he is.
Jamar, sir? There you go.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm here. Yeah,
Jamar, could you? Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yes. So the purpose of the 5 ordinances A through E are to clear up some transaction history on the general ledger. This activity was found during a review of the recently completed 2019 audit by the city controller, and the finance department brought forth this legislation to clean up the books as it relates to these 5 accounts. We would also like to bring some for it later, but just for now, we're starting with these. The net effect will have no effect on the current year operating budget. It will also have 0 effect on the fund balance. It will be budget neutral on fund balance.
Okay, and I would like to add that the city auditor has also reviewed these and has given them her blessing as well. So if there are no other comments from council members, I'm going to ask Linda to give us a roll call, please.
Motion was made by Councilor Goodman Hendershot, seconded by Councilor Reed to enact Bill number 15-2021, which will write off a CD general fund transfer. Ms. Cepeda Freitas?
Yes.
Ms. Goodman Hendershot?
Yes.
Mr. Marmaru?
Yes.
Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Stelnick?
Yes.
Ms. Ventura?
Yes.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
All right, the next ordinance is Bill number 16-2021, authorizing the write-off of a net general fund receivable, from the general fund, from the community development from 2015 to prior to 2002, which will have the effect of increasing general fund transfer to community development fund and expenditure of $835,102 and transfer from community development fund a revenue of $69,440.95 and increasing community development fund transfer from general fund a revenue of $835,102 and increasing transfer to general fund an expenditure of $69,440.95. This was introduced again at the February 22nd regular meeting, and it was tabled as well at the March 8th regular meeting. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Are there any comments to this specific ordinance? I think Jamar recapped these for us. If not, Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Counselor Reed, seconded by Counselor Cepeda Freitas to enact Bill number 16, 2021, which authorizes a second write-off of a CD general fund transfer. Ms. Goodman Hintershitz,
Yes.
Mr. Marmarin,
Yes.
Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Sahelnick,
Yes.
Ms. Ventura,
Yeah.
Ms. Cepeda Freitas,
Yes.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
Our next ordinance is Bill number 17-2021, authorizing the write-off of this net general fund receivable from the city's water fund from 2011 to prior to 2002, which will have the effect of increasing general fund transfer to water fund an expenditure of $2 million and increasing city water fund transfer from general fund a revenue of $2 million. This was introduced at the February 22nd regular meeting, and it was tabled at the March 8th regular meeting. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. I'm assuming there's no comments. Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Counselor Marmaru, seconded by Counselor Goodman Hintershitz to enact Bill number 17, 2021, which authorizes a write-off of a water fund general fund transfer. Counselor Marmaru,
Yes.
Counselor Reed,
Yes.
Counselor Sahelnick,
Yes.
Counselor Ventura,
Yeah.
Counselor Cepeda Freitas,
Yes.
Counselor Goodman Hintershitz,
Yes.
and Council President Waltman.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
Our next ordinance is Bill number 18-2021, authorizing the write-off of the net general fund payable to the city's capital reserve sewer fund recorded between 2003 and 2005, which will have the effect of increasing general fund transfer from capital reserve sewer fund a revenue of $1,521,154.38 and increasing the city's capital reserve sewer fund transfer to general fund an expenditure of $1,521,154.38. This was introduced at the February 22nd regular meeting, and it was also tabled at the March 8th regular meeting. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. I'm assuming there are no comments as well on this ordinance. If that's the case, Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Counselor Reed, seconded by Counselor Marmaru to enact Bill number 18, 2021, which authorizes the write-off of the capital reserve sewer fund transfer. Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Sahelnick,
Yes.
Ms. Ventura,
Yeah.
Ms. Cepeda Freitas,
Yes.
Ms. Goodman Hintershitz,
Yes.
Mr. Marmaru,
Yes.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
Our next ordinance is Bill number 19-2021, authorizing the write-off of this net general fund payable to the city sewer fund recorded between 2010 and 2012, which will have the effect of increasing general fund transfer from sewer fund a revenue of $2,338,270.50 and increasing the city sewer fund transfer to general fund an expenditure of $2,338,270.50. This was introduced as well at the February 22nd regular meeting and was also tabled at the March 8th regular meeting. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. I'm assuming there's no comments or questions on this specific ordinance as well. And if that's so, Linda, can we have a roll call?
Motion was made by Counselor Reed, seconded by Counselor Cepeda Freitas to enact Bill number 19, 2021, which authorizes the write-off of a sewer fund transfer. Ms. Sahelnick,
Yes.
Ms. Ventura,
Yeah.
Ms. Cepeda Freitas,
Yes.
Ms. Goodman Hintershitz,
Yes.
Mr. Marmaru,
Yes.
Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
Our next ordinance is Bill number 20-21, amending the 2021 water fund budget by $47,400 to offset an increase for the carryover to reserve. There is no overall impact on the water fund operating budget. This was introduced at the March 8th regular meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, been properly moved and seconded. Any comments or questions regarding this ordinance? If not, Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Counselor Goodman Hintershett, seconded by Counselor Reed, to enact Bill number 20, 2021, which amends the water fund budget to offset an increase for the carryover to reserve. Ms. Ventura,
Yes.
Ms. Cepeda Freitas,
Yes.
Ms. Goodman Hintershett,
Yes.
Mr. Marmaru,
Yes.
Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Sahelnick,
Yes.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
All right, our next ordinance is Bill 22-2021, amending the City of Reading City Code Charter 515, Subdivision and Land Development Ordinance, the SALDO. It was introduced at the March 8th regular meeting, and a public hearing was held on March 15th. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
So moved.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Donna?
Just want to acknowledge all the work that's gone into this and the effort and thought behind it. We welcome input from folks both within and without and outside of City Hall. So I think this will be an important tool as economic development continues through the city, as well as for other practical purposes.
All right, are there any other comments? I'll just affirm what Donna said. A lot of work goes into these details. Very important work, especially at a time where we're starting to build some momentum. So hopefully we'll see the benefits of these changes as well. Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Counselor Reed, seconded by Counselor Marmaru, to enact Bill number 22, 2021, that authorizes the amendment of the saldo. Ms. Cepeda Freitas?
Yes.
Oops. Ms. Goodman Hintershett?
Yes.
Mr. Marmaru?
Yes.
Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Sahelnick?
Yes.
Ms. Ventura?
Yeah.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
All right, the next ordinance is Bill number 23-2021, amending the general fund budget by transferring $123,499 from the fund balance to the agency fund project to finance a comprehensive citywide parking study. This was introduced at the March 8th regular meeting. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any comments or questions? I just think it's important to point out that the parking authority is doing a separate parking study. You may see two different studies here this evening. Theirs is more built in the core of downtown and their facilities, and this is a more comprehensive citywide study. Hopefully components of both will be integrated together for best outcomes. God willing, right? Anyway, any other comments at this point? All right, if not, Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made, by Counselor Goodman Hintershett, seconded by Counselor Ventura, to enact Bill number 23, 2021, that authorizes the amendment of the general fund budget by transferring funds to the agency fund to provide for a parking study. Ms. Goodman Hintershett?
Yes.
Mr. Marmaru?
Yes.
Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Sahelnick?
Yes.
Ms. Ventura?
Yeah.
Ms. Cepeda Freitas?
Yes.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
Our next ordinance is Bill number 24-2021, amending the general fund budget by transferring $92,000 from the fund balance to the agency fund for construction costs related to the new 9th and Marion Fire Station project. This was introduced at the March 8th regular meeting. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All
Is
right,
that-
properly.
Was that Donna?
I couldn't tell there was Strat.
Thank you. Got it.
All right, so it's been properly moved and seconded. Strat, does anybody have any comments?
I'm glad it's done. 14 years of fighting for that.
All right, any other comments? All right, great. All right, Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Counselor Marmaru, seconded by Counselor Sahelnik, to enact Bill number 24, 2021, which authorizes a budget amendment by transferring funds from the general fund to the agency fund for construction costs related to the new 9th and Marion Fire Station. Mr. Marmaru,
Yes.
Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Sahelnik,
Yes.
Ms. Ventura,
Yes.
Ms. Cepeda Freitas,
Yes.
Ms. Goodman Hintershitz,
Yes.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
All right, our final ordinance for passage this evening is Bill number 26-2021, amending the City Code Chapter 576, Vehicles and Traffic, Part 4, Parking, Section 576-404, Block and Garage Entrance by adding rear parking areas, and Section 576-407, Storage of Vehicles by removing the language regarding the parking of tractor trailers, bringing the section into compliance with the prohibition on tractor trailers parking in Chapter 564. This was introduced at the March 8th regular meeting. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
So moved.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Who has any comments, thoughts, questions? I think we stepped through it. All right, if there are no comments, Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Counselor Cepeda Freitas, seconded by Counselor Marmaru, to enact Bill number 26, 2021, which authorizes the amendment of the parking chapter of the city code to provide clarity. Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Sahelnik,
Yes.
Ms. Ventura,
Yes.
Ms. Cepeda Freitas,
Yes.
Ms. Goodman Hintershitz,
Yes.
Mr. Marmaru,
Yes.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
All right, council, we have 3 ordinances for introduction this evening. I'm going to ask that Councilwoman Marcia Goodman Hintershitz to please read them onto the record.
Yes. A, ordinance amending the police chief's contract by adding the benefits he is entitled to under the Pennsylvania Chiefs Act due to his extended service as a police officer on June 1st, 2000, followed by his promotion to sergeant, lieutenant, and captain, working in multiple capacities for the city of Reading. B, ordinance authorizing the acceptance of the MS4 pollution reduction plan for the city of Reading by adding 2 rain gardens in District 5 to benefit the Tulpehocken Creek. And C, ordinance authorizing the following: changing medium width from 24 feet to 26 feet on the 100 block through the 400 blocks of Hancock Boulevard, and on the 800 block through the 900 block of East Wyomissing Boulevard, reducing the cartway width to 23 feet, changing medium width from 24 feet to 28 feet on the 1000 block through the 1300 blocks of East Wyomissing Boulevard, reducing the cartway width to 23 feet.
All right, thank you, Marcia, for doing that. We're going to move on to resolutions. I'm going to start with the first resolution that we moved from the consent agenda, and that is an award of contract to Doug Lamb Construction for the 18th Ward Island Project at Hancock and East Wyomissing Boulevard at the cost of $556,400. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. I don't know if we know who did what, but that was Lucine and
And Johanny?
Johanna.
It's
Okay.
Marcia.
Oh,
Okay.
Marcia. Thank you.
We're gonna need buttons soon.
Yeah,
Little
really.
buzzers, little like
At least a little hand.
or whatever.
Like Jeopardy.
Yeah. Well, then we'll really be in trouble. All right. Any comments, questions, thoughts on this specific award of contract? Lucine?
I believe that some counselors wanted this moved here to resolutions just for some further dialogue and open dialogue on what's being proposed. So we did have a good opportunity to have an update from Tim Kroll, an engineering perspective from the city. And we've had time to review. So I'm going to invite fellow counselors at this time if there's any other discussion points or comments that they would like to make before we move this forward for a vote.
Okay. And being familiar with that area and looking at the traffic patterns, first of all, I think the city did its diligence to be able to study the area, come up with a project and move through the process. And it always is very invigorating to see this type of project moving forward. I'm sure the citizens that reside in that area will very much appreciate the changes. It will have a calming effect. So it's a matter of this resolution is to select the contractor. I had asked for it to be separated out just due to the amount of the contract. And so that the public can understand fully detailed the city's really investing $500,000, close to that, to be able to carry out this part of the project.
All right, any other comments? All right, if not, thanks, Lucine and Marcia. Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Counselor Sahelnick, seconded by Counselor Goodman Hintershitz, to award the contract for the 18th Ward Island project to Doug Lamb Construction at the cost of $556,400. Ms. Sahelnick,
Yes.
Ms. Ventura,
Yes.
Ms. Cepeda Freitas,
Yes.
Ms. Goodman Hintershitz,
Yes.
Mr. Marmaru,
Yes.
Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
All right, the next resolution is another award of contract for the municipal ERP project to Tyler Technologies at the cost of $1,110,468, with $700,000 coming in fiscal year 2021 and the remaining being covered in next year's fiscal year. This was tabled at the February 22nd and March 8th regular meetings. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Any comments, questions, thoughts, council members? So go ahead, Marcia.
Okay, and I want to be able to thank the administration for doing the needed research and studies to select a firm. We very much needed to be able to have an upgraded system to be able to integrate all the functions that occur within the city. This is cutting edge technology, but I also appreciated that my fellow council members really wanted to dive into it in more detail because of the amount of the expenditure, so we could better understand the full scope of what the city was investing in. So for my years on council, this looks as if it's probably one of the best steps forward because technology is so important to the efficient operation of the city.
All right, any other comments? I'll just add that, new software means new disciplines. Typically, good stuff in is good stuff out. So it's important that there's an old SIPOC was the old green belt, whatever terminology, but systems are essential in today's world. And the city does have a lot of opportunities to realize a lot of synergies and improvements through their operations with a more updated system. So I'm hopeful that we'll reap some of these benefits and commend the administration for going through the process and selecting something they're comfortable with. So with that in mind, Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Counselor Goodman Hintershit, seconded by Counselor Ventura, to award the contract for the ERP project to Tyler Technologies at a cost of $1.1 million total. Ms. Ventura,
Yes.
Ms. Cepeda Freitas,
Yes.
Ms. Goodman Hintershits,
Yes.
Mr. Marmarow,
yes,
Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Sahelnick,
Yes.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
All right, our next resolution is making the following appointments to the Reading Youth Commission. I'm going to try not to chop up any names, but the first one is Winton Butler II, representing Council District 4 with a term expiration of July 1st, 2021. Kylie Shapiro, representing City Council District 1, term expiration July 1, 2022. Morgan Hutchinson, representing Council District 1, term expiration July 1st, 2022. Brandon Hernandez Ruiz, representing Council District 4, term expiration July 1st, 2023. Genesis Munoz Arias, representing Council District 6, term expiration July 1st, 2023. Jose Tinio, representing Council District 6, term expiration July 1st, 2023. Sayoni Segura, representing Council District 5, term expiration July 1st, 2023. Wilma Victoriano, representing Council District 2, term expiration July 1st, 2024. Johnny Division Martinez, representing Council District 3, term expiration July 1st, 2024. And Wesley Butler, representing City Council District 4, term expiration July 1st, 2024. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
So moved.
We have a more exciting movement motion, please.
So moved.
Second. Second.
Ah, it's only 8:44 here. All right. So, it's been properly moved and seconded. Who wants to offer a few comments? Lucy?
Jeff, I'll speak. And it's been brought to my attention that a few of the members are watching and tuning in this evening. So congratulations to all of you, first and foremost, for applying and being accepted and nominated into these positions. A big thank you to our city deputy clerk, Shelley, for really staying behind the task at hand and getting us here. In addition to fellow Councilwoman Ventura, who is coming in as the alternate for this commission, and to other councilors who have been part of the process. Thank you very much for investing in these youth who want to in turn invest in us as a city. We will be having an inaugural meeting, but I'll talk about that a little bit at the end. This is an incredible opportunity for our youth that want to be engaged, who want to be a voice and bring a point of view and perspective to our decision making as council members. That is invaluable to us. So we were very excited, and I'll let other councilors also make some comments before we call for action here, very excitedly, of course.
All right, thank you, Lucy. Additional comments?
Yes, please. First of all, I want to thank the whole team that was involved in working through this process, because all the youth that we interviewed were stellar as far as what they had to contribute to the community, what they've already contributed in leadership roles. I think it's important to know, even though it's entitled the Youth Commission, it really is youth and young adults up to the age of 22. So we have a variety of age groups. There was someone that asked a question on the Facebook chat, wanting to know why there were different terms, and that has to do with the structuring of different lengths of terms, so that all of the commission members do not come and go at the same time, that they are alternated on and off. So some of them will have longer terms, and I believe one member will be aging out very shortly during their first term, so their term is shorter. And I want to thank our city deputy city clerk again, Shelley Smith, for doing all the hard work to be able to establish this. It's not always easy to establish a new commission, and we do have our work cut out for us because we're also going to be setting up a citizens commission too. So they'll be able to complement each other. So I very much look forward to listening to the growth of this organization, to wish everyone success, and to be able to see how they can be supporting city government in the recommendations that come from a youth perspective as far as the direction of the city.
All right, Donna?
Just echoing and supporting everything that's been said. And we need another representative from District 5. Shelley, I don't believe we have another applicant yet, do we? So we'll be asking for that. I'll put some things up on social media, and please, the folks who are being appointed tonight, if you know someone in District 5, Northwest Reading, please let them know that we need them and we want them to represent our area. And I will certainly look around and ask around, and hopefully we'll get that position filled. So thank you to everyone who stepped forward, Lucine and Melissa, and everyone. Thank you for your, Shivani, thank you for your efforts.
All right, any additional comments? I just want to point out that the mayor, I guess, is in the process of putting forward their participants as well. This is a city government effort. I am excited to see, first of all, I hope I didn't chop up anyone's name, but I'm excited to see younger adults getting involved. Really, I mean, we need younger involvement in the city. Some of us are getting a little older, and you know, we need people to get involved. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. These things have to circulate and change, and a lot of bright young adults in the city of Reading. There's no doubt about that. And I know there's a lot of eager ones to take on the task and, you know, serve in some of these seats as time goes by. And this is a good place for people to really get involved and get their feet wet and see what's really involved. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of law. There's a lot of finance. You know, we touch so many things that I think sometimes people don't realize. So this is an excellent opportunity. I know some of the names on the list, but I'm sure they're all great young adults that are excited about helping us, help them, help us, help them. And then that'll be perhaps fill in some of these seats because somebody else has got to do it eventually, right? So with that in mind, Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Councilor Sahelnik, seconded by Councilor Goodman-Hendershitz to adopt Resolution 35, 2021, which makes the first appointments to the Youth Commission. Ms. Cepeda-Freitas?
Yes.
Ms. Goodman-Hendershitz?
Yes.
Mr. Marmaru?
Yes.
Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Sahelnik?
Yes.
Ms. Ventura?
Yeah.
Mr. Waltman, President?
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
All right, our final resolution this evening is authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding for the use of 339 South 7th Street by South of Penn Task Force for community events. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Any comments? Anyone?
Jeff, just very briefly, I'm very happy to see this moving forward. Appreciate the mayor and the solicitor and others who have spent their time working with the members of the South Penn Task Force. This is exactly what I believe is community development at a grassroots level. Individuals who want to invest in the betterment of their neighborhoods and take on stewardship, which is what we're looking at here. A lot that has been owned, by the city, but could be better utilized and taken care of by individuals who want to use it for things like a movie night, tie-dye Tuesdays, and other various activities, which are really good for strengthening the community and keeping everybody engaged and invested. instead of seeing the blighted properties and outcomes when people are not feeling part of their community, responsible and engaged. So I'm very happy to see this move forward. I want to thank the South of Penn Task Force members and those of the community and the south side of the city, specifically 7th, Buttonwood, Bingham in that area. And also to Barrio Alegria, who's really the parent organization and investing in our community to see these types of changes occurring and creative placemaking.
All right, additional comments, anyone? Okay, if not, Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Counselor Sahelnik, seconded by Counselor Cepeda Freitas to adopt Resolution 36, 2021, which authorizes the execution of a memorandum of understanding for the, execution of the MOU for the use of 339 South 7th by the South of Penn Task Force. Ms. Goodman Hendershitz?
Yes.
Mr. Marmaru?
Yes.
Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Sahelnik?
Yes.
Ms. Ventura?
Yes.
Ms. Cepeda Freitas?
Yes.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
Okay, council, it's 8:52. Doesn't mean we don't have time, but I just want to remind everyone it's 8:52. So,
Even Linda's cat went to sleep.
yeah. Anyway, open it up for comments. I'm sure people have comments, so there's time to share. Go ahead, Johnny.
Yes.
Oh, whoops. Who's going first?
Johnny, then Strat. Yeah.
So first, I just want to congratulate our young adults. I'm super excited for what's to come. You know, when we walk our neighborhoods, I'm always impressed and amazed by our community. Despite the negative hype, our community is our asset, our young people, our entire community. There's such great strength in our community. And on that same note, I want to give a shout out to Centro Hispano, Olivet Boys and Girls Club, Reading Housing Authority, Berks County Area Agency on Aging, and Oakside Pharmacy. To date, there's been 2,200 folks in our community that have been vaccinated. So I love it when our community comes together for a great cause. So kudos to you, great work. Shout out to South of Penn Task Force, your consistent ongoing community cleanups. This movement is taking on, like it's traveling to other parts of our community. So I'm excited to see more people getting involved and engaged. I want to encourage folks to continue to, if they see something, say something, do something, right? We're a community. Let's love our neighborhoods. Let's love our neighbors, and let's get to work. Let's keep revitalizing our community and making things better for everyone. And one last thing I want to remind folks in businesses in the hospitality industry, remember the Greater Reading Chamber has a grant. The application, the deadline is April 5th. So make sure if you're in a restaurant, hotel, in the hospitality industry, that you visit the rebuilds.com/funding site and put in your application. And on that note, thank you everyone for tuning in. The weather is beautiful. It encourages more people to take walks. Appreciate the architecture, the history of our great city of Reading, and make the best of it. So thank you so much.
All right, who's next?
Me.
Go ahead, Strat.
Two things. I want to thank everyone on council for supporting the money to be transferred to take care of a project that I've been fighting for 14 years, the 9th and Marion Fire Company. And it was never council that disapproved this. It was always administrations that turned it down and found other reasons why not to replace one of the oldest fire companies in the city, where there was more bugs in that building than out in the street, grass growing through the bricks into the building but they didn't think it was necessary for us to get enough data to building out there to take care of one of the, I don't want to say the better areas of the city, but one of the biggest areas of the city. And again, I want to thank you very much. I have an announcement that it's a shame, for years since I've been on, Greek Independence Day falls March the 25th, and we bring the kids in for over church and music, and they would dance, and everybody enjoyed themselves. Well, we can't do it this year, but what we're going to do Thursday at 12 o'clock in front of City Hall, we'll be raising the flag out there, and there'll be people from our church, some children, and this is to celebrate 300 years of freedom. We took that yoke off of our necks and put it on their necks and became free again. 300 years of being dominated by people that hated us. And I like to see people out there on Thursday and show you what we're all about. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Strat. Any other comments, Council? Marcia?
Oh, okay. First of all, I just am so proud of the efforts of bringing the community into the workings of the city that we saw happen tonight with the Youth Commission, with the work, done south of Penn. I was also extraordinarily impressed by the meeting that was held at Olivets in Pandora Park regarding youth violence. There will be a follow-up meeting. But what was really great about that is the networking that went on, that people were able to look together about what role they needed to play and how everyone could be part of the solution. So just extraordinary progress that we're making. And on top of that, we have a winning basketball team at Reading High. And I just want us to have a shout out to the team, wish them luck at tomorrow night's game. We might be seeing another state championship coming here to Reading, and we'll have other reasons to celebrate. And another positive note, thank you, Johanny, for sharing the information about the vaccinations. I am celebrating this week. I became fully vaccinated. I want to be able to say to anyone that has any questions or concerns, I've learned some things personally, just a little bit punky the day afterwards, but nothing as far as serious side effects. So just want to encourage people to go out and get vaccinated. And hopefully we'll be able to see as we make our way through our older and population, me being one of those, that we finally are able to get everyone in the city fully vaccinated. For some of my younger colleagues, your place in line is going to come very soon. So, I hope we keep moving forward. And just again, to enjoy the beautiful weather and to be able to look at opportunities in your own backyard, to be able to plant a garden, have some flowers, make our city look beautiful, and to be able to continue to help with community cleanups, whether it be a part of a big event, whether you just take the time to help clean up the trash or whatever you see in your neighborhood. That's how we make our city safer. Thank you.
All right, any additional comments this evening?
Yes, Jeff, thank you. I'm going to start with health as well, because right now, until April 1st, our community members have an opportunity to voluntarily participate in a community health needs assessment. This is being managed by, actually, I think, a consortium of all of our healthcare institutions and partners in our community right now. And it is really vital to share your perspective and your story as to any barriers or needs that you meet for your essential health needs in Reading. And that information that is collected and used for metrics and for program incentives and funding opportunities So I encourage people to participate in the community health needs assessment being hosted by Penn State Health St. Joe's, I believe is the direct contact to ascertain that link to the survey. In addition to, again, the South of Penn Spring cleaning kickoff, thank you for your continued efforts, but it takes all of us no matter where we are in the city. So please, if you see trash and you're walking on your block, pick it up. Recently, my neighbors recycling blew all over the place on that windy day last week. And it was a joint effort of everybody just quick picking up a few pieces so that it didn't infiltrate through the entire neighborhood. We have, I just want to say in appreciation to my fellow counselors and to the administration, the amount of work that is being done and realized in District 1. I don't take that for granted. And I know it takes all of us, even though I'm seeing it in District 1, it's because we're all working together, and I appreciate that. In the 18th ward, there are continued updates, not only on the bike and pedestrian safety path that we heard about this evening, potential funding to continue to support those projects, community gardens popping up potentially at Millmont in addition to Oak Brook. And, you know, there's so much more happening. And this is really happening because of our community groups. So thank you to the 18th Wonder Improvement Association for that. A lot of people have asked me about the Victory Garden Task Force. So last year at this time, we were forming the task force, and the end result was bringing together multiple partners and stakeholders focused on urban agriculture to address food insecurity and access when we saw our food systems breaking. This year, we are not reproducing that same project. So I've had a lot of questions on that. But the good news is that the task force has come together to help areas in food deserts establish community gardens like the one at Millmont, like the one at Oak Brook, and beyond. And in addition, we're waiting to hear back from funding awards, potentially in creating a urban agriculture coordinator position and program in the city of Reading. So again, just wanted to give the community at large an update on that because I know we're getting a lot of questions there. The Youth Commission wouldn't be happening. I would be remiss if I didn't publicly thank John Zabala and Mark Detterline as stepping in and stepping up as our community volunteer coordinators, just as we see in our other boards, authorities, and commissions. It takes a group of volunteers to be able to conduct the change and perspectives that we want to see. Same for the Youth Commission. So Councilor Ventura and I will be there as the council liaisons to really support the work and guidance and leadership of John with the Youth Commission members to really get a nice dose of civic engagement and empowerment to be able to have access to all of us, whether it's council, whether it's the chief of police, whether it's the mayor. We want to make sure that you know who we are and the business that we're conducting. And we hear your perspectives on our legislation and decisions and programming and focus. So again, thank you to all of them. The inaugural meeting for the Youth Commission will be March 31st at 6 p.m. I'm sure that we will be live streaming that so people can participate and see how that first meeting goes. Very, very proud of the youth there. And again, I'm really proud of the stewardships and the playground activities and the revitalizations that we're seeing in the South of Penn. Our community is strong and coming together, and that's exactly what it takes to see that place where we want to live, work, live, learn, play, love, all of those L words. Finally, I'm very happy that the administration is addressing the need for coordination for the downtown in the placement of Cindy Kastner. There have been voids that we saw, an authority that was underutilized and underfunded could not even keep up with. So thank you to the administration and to fellow counselors for taking those steps. We see areas like the 800 block courtyard on Penn Street, which is in District 1, which needs attention and focus as we remain socially distant. And you know, the weather's changing. We see people wanting to come out and convene there. We want to make sure that happens in a safe way. We want to make sure it's a beautiful place, that there's greening and beautification happening all up and down Penn Street. So I look forward to all of those things and more happening to strengthen our downtown community as well.
Okay, thank you, Lucine. Are there any, go ahead, Donna.
Um, all these upbeat things, and it's so wonderful. We want to see the beautiful weather. We want to see cleaner streets. But I think we'd be remiss if we didn't remember the losses of a motorcyclist in my neighborhood and Schuylkill and Lackawanna just within the last week and a half. The female driver who was basically T-boned or whatever by speeders, people drag racing on North 11th Street, which hit home to me because I used to live out that way and use that street every day when I was much younger. And I lived out there. Jahani talked about accountability and stepping up. Well, that's incumbent upon all of us. If you see that terrible accident that claimed that woman's life, if anyone knows who the drivers were, there's no excuse for it. There's no excuse that there's a dead person because people wanted to drag race on a densely populated city block. No excuse. We had the same, we had the situation up on Schuylkill Avenue, people racing and cars plowing into other cars. We have the loss of a motorcyclist, a young man, 30 years old, leaves behind family and children, and all his mom wants is for him to be taken back to Puerto Rico to be laid to rest. I mean, these are heartbreaking things. I know our police department is working to its best, but a community, we can make, and I hope we make Reading look good with plantings and picking up litter, but the people have to be good. We have to have it within ourselves to be better people and to do the right thing. And these are challenging times. Everyone's points of view have really been attacked by COVID as much as the virus has attacked the physical person. But somehow we've got to work with, and hopefully the Youth Commission can play a big role in this, but we have got to work to make our city, the people of our city, feel safe. And I mean everyone feel safe, that they know that they're important, that they don't have to drag race to show that they're very cool, or that they don't have to worry about, turning the corner and running into someone, that they don't have to worry about being victimized in some way, shape, or form. So, let's do everything we can to beautify the city, but let's support as members of the community, the safety efforts of our police, the respect for each other as motorists, as pedestrians, as cyclists, especially as people are out there enjoying the weather. Let's think of how we drive with little ones who are not in school every day. No matter what we say, they're not in front of their computers on beautiful days. We all see it in our neighborhoods. We have to really impress upon each other and ourselves the importance of safe driving, of safe conducting ourselves, just as we want our neighborhoods to be good and safe and decent. So I do want to remember those we've lost as well, the gun violence. We can be a better city. I know we can. But again, like Jahani said, it's the personal accountability. It has to be everyone pitching in. So I don't want to be a downer, but I had to say those things. And we do want to remember and respect those who have lost. And also, again, with Frank's dad who passed, we want to acknowledge, and that was not part of this, but Frank, I think we all feel strongly that Frank has done everything he can to help all of us as counselors work with the administration. He is priceless in terms of his institutional knowledge, his ability to get along with people, and the challenges he's faced, and the graciousness with which he has continued to work under those challenges. So we wish him and his family all the best, and we're very sorry for the loss of his dad.
Okay, thank you, Donna. Are there any additional comments? All right, if not, just real quickly, our meeting schedule is as follows. Monday, April 5th, we have the Nominations and Appointments Committee at 4 o'clock, Committee of the Whole at 5 o'clock. On April 12th, we'll have another Committee of the Whole at 5 o'clock, followed immediately by our next regular business meeting. So that is the schedule as we have it right now. If there is no further business, I just need a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good evening.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.